what he's doing right now gives the court serious concerns or pause. I don't believe that the magistrate in setting the bond, I think that there has been an abuse of discretion. Court calls the case, People versus James Radke.
And Matthew Mansour, the public defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Radke, who appears on my right. James, can you state your name for the record, please?
James Radke.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
What
you.
are we doing?
Your Honor, I was just going to ask for a short adjournment here. Just going to look in to see if we can get him. Sorry, I don't know why I always say here.
I don't either. I don't know. Because I guess you asked for adjournments there too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I need to request an adjournment just to see if I can get him into
May 16th, 2024, without objection.
May the people consider that bond?
You may.
Thank you, Your Honor. At the time the defendant was arraigned, he requested a $50,000 surety bond, and that would break the defendant $50,000 surety bond with 10%. I think that the asking court to review that for an abuse of discretion. This is the defendant's 11th or 12th OWI. That we can see. His priors are from 2020, 2018. There were two in 2012. 2005, 1995, 1993, 1992, 1989, 1988, and 1986. And specifically, he got for OWI.
What year?
2022. The concern for people is for the public and the defendant. Possibly on the scrum header, and there's been no indications that he's violated. That was right. This morning. But this pervasive and ongoing history of OWI is of extreme concern to the people, the safety of the public.
Your response.
Oh, Your Honor, Mr. Radke is a Navy veteran, disabled veteran from 1982 to 1985 with an honorable discharge. He's Michigan born and raised. He resides in Wayne. He regularly attends AA meetings. Last time he attended an AA meeting was yesterday, and he attended 2 of them. He also let me know that he voluntarily has looked into checking into an inpatient treatment program in Detroit. I believe it's called Life Challenge Inpatient Treatment Program. It is Christian based. And he let me know
How
that.
come he isn't in an inpatient treatment program now?
Well, Your Honor, he has been going to AA meetings, and it's an up and down battle with Mr. Radke. And
I understand that, but I also understand that he served prison time for drunk driving. Was released in 2022. And by 2024, I'm back here again with this. Right?
yeah, that's correct, Your Honor.
What was the alleged BAC in this matter?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We're still awaiting the blood results. This was a single vehicle crash that occurred. The defendant.
There was an accident?
Yeah, he crashed, a single vehicle crash. And the
Mr. Allen.
all field sobriety tests, all PBTs, and the blood, as the blood draw as well, and we did get a warrant. So we're still waiting on that, but we did charge the case given the history. And I will let the court know too, that at the time that the defendant was booked into the Washtenaw County Jail while awaiting medical examination, he did submit to a PBT at the jail, which was a 0.147.
That was at the time, 147 at the time of booking?
At booking, that's right, Your Honor. But of course, the court knows we won't be able to use that number for our case, but that was the PBT at the time of booking.
Anything else, counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. Radke was arraigned in front of the Honorable Magistrate Fink. I believe she appropriately set the bond here at $50,000, 10%, with a scram tether, with a no drinking, no driving standard bond conditions. Yes, there was an accident. Nobody was physically injured. He has been on.
We had a blessing.
He had a blessing, but nobody, from what the alleged report says, nobody was injured. He checked in today early at community corrections. His agent is Mr. Levitt. They downloaded they gave him a main base device for his home so he can continually test at home. He has had no issues since he's been arraigned. He is compliant with all of the bond conditions here. And he's
Counsel,
here.
you say that to me, but we're a week out from arraignment. It's a week.
I know, Your Honor, but I'm just trying to.
No, go ahead. You make your argument.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to let the court know that, Magistrate Fink heard both arguments. I believe she set the bond at an appropriate bond. If Mr. Radke would have known that the bond would be raised, he would have never posted a $5,000 bond that he had to use on his credit card. His son, he had to call his son here. His son is in the courtroom now, trying to take care of these matters. I'm just asking this court if it would have any leniency for Mr. Radke to allow him to continue to do what he's been doing and get these matters taken care of here.
I believe that given the defendant's record in this matter, given the fact that we don't have the test back, but he was almost a 0.15 at the time that he was booked in, that further that there is an accident that has occurred. Also, given the defendant's record that he had just come off parole, basically in 2022, we're back in 2024. He's done this again. This is not by any stretch of the imagination necessarily an attempt to punish the defendant, but I believe that the defendant, he may be trying his best to do what he's doing, but what he's doing right now gives the court serious concerns or pause. I don't believe that the magistrate in setting the bond, I think that there has been an abuse of discretion. I'm going to set the defendant's bond in the amount of $50,000 cash or surety bond, no 10%. I will, however, do this. Make a decision. You said that the money was paid on a credit card. I don't have a problem refunding the bond that he's paid if he needs those funds to pay for inpatient treatment. So he can be released to inpatient treatment. I'm phrasing it that I'll consider release to inpatient treatment. I'm not saying on a PR at this point, but if he needs those funds and you let us know that he needs those funds to get himself into inpatient treatment, I'm not going to have a problem with that. I want him to have help. I want him to not deal with I want him to be able to deal with the demons that face him. And I don't want him here on an OWI causing death. And I think that I need to protect the community, and that's how I'm going to do it.
Okay, Your Honor. Can I ask to approach, please?
You may.
Thank you.
All right, record should reflect that we had a bench conference just in terms of the details. And again, so that I'm very clear on the record, I don't have a problem refunding what's been paid, provided that goes to inpatient treatment.
Okay.
All right. And so I just need you to arrange that, get with the prosecutor. You guys get me an order and I'll sign off on it. Make sure if there's a cost to the inpatient treatment and you want the bond returned for the payment of that, make sure that portion is contained within the order.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Defendant is remanded. Court does call the case of the people versus Scotty Ogburn Jr.
Morning, Your Honor. Nicole Hughes on behalf of the people.
I'm Mr. Ogburn.
Morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Ogburn, who I see on the Zoom screen up there.
Mr. Ogburn?
Yeah,
Hello. Can you state your name?
Scotty Ogburn.
Thank you, sir. I have before me a plea form. Is that what we're doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The plea form indicates that the defendant would be pleading no contest to count 2, an added count 2 of use of a controlled substance, the 1-year offense. Upon his successful plea to that charge, count 1 would be dismissed. There is further the agreement that there would be no delayed or deferred. That's the court's entire understanding of the agreement.
That's correct, Your Honor. We're hoping for immediate sentence. He's going to be in MDOC for another 4 years at least.
All right. Sir, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name again, please.
Scotty Ogburn.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to the charge of use of a controlled substance. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and a $2,000 or a $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
Two things about a no contest plea I need you to understand. The first thing I need you to understand is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
Basis for the no contest plea?
Lack of memory, Your Honor.
All right. Understanding all of that, sir, you still wish to plead no contest to this charge? I didn't ask.
Yes.
All right. And to that charge, how do you plead?
You said to that charge, federal plead no contest.
All right. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on, you're not on probation or parole, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will.
Yes.
Court has been handed and provided Washington County Sheriff's Office report for their case number 22. It's at 84123. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Check one thing. Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2, count 1 is dismissed. Anything either of you want to say before I do impose sentence?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Your Honor, he's going to be there, I think, for another 4 years. So we're hoping immediate sentence, and
How long has he been in already?
he would have to answer that, Your Honor.
Sir, how long have you been with MD in MDOC?
I've been here for like, what, 4 months now?
Okay, so about 3 months. Got it. Anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence? No? All right.
Heard you.
Sentence of the court, statutory fees of $125. I'll order 90 days incarceration, credit 90 days served. Thank you.
Sure.
Court does call the case of the People versus Mary Barney.
Or will bring for the people.
Has she signed an advice of rights for? Did?
I did.
Ron Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing with and on behalf of Defendant.
Do we have her advice of rights for?
Yes, sir. I do have her advice of rights from Joy Gaines, Senior Assistant Public Defender, with on behalf of Ms. Barney.
All right, I have before me a plea form that indicates that the defendant would be pleading no contest to the charge of child abuse 4th degree, the 1 year offense, also punishable by up to 5 years probation. That upon her successful plea to that charge, count 1 would be dismissed. There is a notation that there are no other agreements of any type.
That's correct.
That's correct, Your Honor.
May I have her sworn?
Right. I'm swear and affirm the testimony about the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name.
Mary Barney.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea, Ms. Gaines.
potential civil liability.
All right. Ms. Barney, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge of child abuse fourth degree. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and or up to 5 years probation. You understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Two things about it I have to make sure that you understand. It first means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
The other thing that you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court would treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
You understand also, ma'am, that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge and you would be sentenced before Judge Barr in the 14A2 District Court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead no contest?
I do, Your Honor.
And to this charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
I do, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
I did, Your Honor.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
You'll see a copy on the podium. Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
I understand, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
I understand, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
I am, Your Honor.
of your own free will.
I am, Your Honor.
All right. Court has been provided and has reviewed Washington County Sheriff's Office report for their case number 23-100251. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 14A2 probation. Sentencing in this matter will be
June 4th at 10 a.m. before Judge Barr.
June 4th, 2024. What time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. before Judge Barr. Bond will continue. Court calls the case of the people versus Michael Boyd.
Assistant Public Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Mr. Boyd, who appears via Zoom. Mr. Boyd, can you please state your name for the record?
Michael Boyk.
Okay. So, Your Honor, I did present the court with an MOU. It was my understanding that earlier on in this case, the treatment court in Emmett County wanted the case prior to a plea. However, which would have required this court's signature. However, they want to do it after the plea. So we are just waiving for today's purposes.
You're waiving up.
Yes, Your Honor. And I did provide the waiver.
Okay, so I wouldn't be the one signing this referral.
Not anymore, Your Honor. That's
Well,
correct.
I just did, but okay.
Well, thank you.
I'll let you guys figure it out.
The waiver needs to just be very clear on the record. So he's waiving up to circuit court without any express offers or guarantees. He may waive up to circuit court and never actually even get into the Emmett County treatment court, but this is not a contingent waiver. He's just waiving that. So he needs to we need to make sure he understands that. My intention is that once he's up in circuit court, he will leave to the OWI third, that he'll be referred here for an MDOC probation PSIR. Once we receive the PSIR, he will then be transferred to Emmett County. However, that's not a guarantee. They haven't accepted him yet.
They have.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for that. Once he's there, if he successfully completes, we're going to approve that as part of his plea for the OWI third, that if he successfully completes in Emmett County has the discretion to reduce the ultimate conviction down to an OWI second, nothing less than that. But again, that is not guaranteed, and that is entirely at the discretion of Emmett County, only if he's successful.
And Your Honor, that is our understanding. I went through every facet of that with Mr. Boyd.
All right. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes.
All right. You also understand that you're waiving your right to have a preliminary examination?
Yes, sir.
Pardon?
Yes, sir.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you will not have that hearing and that you will proceed to circuit court for further resolution?
Yes, sir.
All right, people also waive their right.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on a single count. Mr. Bellin,
We acknowledge receipt of information, Your Honor. We waive formal reading and stand mute at this time.
defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for
1:30 before Judge Slade Thursday.
May 30th, 2024, 1:30, Slade Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond will continue.
Thank you.
You're welcome. May I have her sworn, please?
Raise your right hand. Swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name.
Regina Brown.
Ma'am, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of false pretenses, 200 to 1,000. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that could become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yeah.
Understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yeah.
I also do have to advise you that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Washington in the 14B District Court. You understand that?
Yes.
Still want to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Right.
Okay, you signed an advice of rights form today?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights, which are part, there's a copy on the podium.
Right here.
It's under yours.
Oh.
Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to
No.
plea? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty?
Yes.
September 15th, 2023, at the location of 5970 Bridge Roads, Ipsy Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. What'd you do that makes you think that you're guilty?
I cashed a check that wasn't legit.
Okay, you knew the check was not a good check?
No, I didn't know. Yes, I did.
You did know?
Yes.
You cashed it?
Yes.
Okay, knowing it to be fraudulent in
Not,
some
not
way.
legit. Yeah.
Okay. And was the value of the check or what you received in excess of $200?
Was it what?
In excess of $200. Did you receive more than
More,
$200?
Yes.
You did? All right. You're gonna do it. Counsel, have I complied with the court will?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 14B District Court. Sentencing in this matter will be
May 30th at 10 a.m. before Judge Washington.
May 30th, 2024, 10 a.m. before Judge Washington. Bond in this matter will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Court does call the case people versus Christopher Duffy.
The Public Defender Queen Anderson, within on behalf of Mr. Duffy. Please state your name, sir.
Christopher Duffy.
Your Honor, and if you had a chance to speak with Ms. Gaines, the
With
preliminary
who?
exam, Ms. Gaines.
Joy.
She's right here.
Why are you here then?
The joy.
Oh, that's what it was about. Never mind. My bad. So you want this up for preliminary exam?
Yes, Your Honor, it's my understanding they're waiting for some videos, but should have them by the May 7th date, if we can get it the May 7th date or later.
So discovery is not complete yet.
No.
That would be accurate, but it's my understanding that Mr. Duffy wishes to proceed and wants to set the exam. And if we get the videos ahead of time, he would be viewing them
But
ahead
if
of
he
time.
understands that if they're not here, he's going to proceed to exam.
Do you understand that, or do you want to adjourn it and wait?
That's cool.
Okay, he says that's fine, Your Honor. That is his
You
request.
don't want to see everything before you set it for exam?
No.
No?
The Joy Gaines is here, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm going to try to bring the joy as
Right, here we go.
Joy James, Senior Assistant Public Defender. Mr. Duffy and I have had a chance to speak about this, and I would like to start with Mr. Duffy was here previously, and there was no counsel assigned to him that day, so he is, this is his second time here, and so there's a little bit of frustration based
And
on.
wants to go forward.
That is correct.
Okay, but I
I
have
do
some,
believe,
I have concerns if he hasn't,
yes,
if council hasn't had the opportunity to see everything and hasn't been able to share it and properly advise him.
based on the police report, I do believe that that the media that we would receive would be the body cam footage or the dash cam footage of video of questions to the complainant. It would not, based on the report, it states that there was no video or no meeting face-to-face with our client. So with that, if we, as long as we have it before then, I think that we'll be prepared, especially to try to minimize the inconvenience based on the past with Mr. Duffy. We'll make sure that we do that. Anything else you would like?
People would have their witnesses available to 7.
We go out to the 14th, Your Honor.
Any objection to that?
No, Your Honor. Is that fine? Just so long as we're moving forward, I think.
Preliminary examination in person, May 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Washington. I'm marking the file because of the discovery issue that there to be no adjournments for discovery purposes. So if they're not here, they're not here. You're going ahead.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bond
Thank
will
you.
continue. I know Londy's lurk. I see it, but kind of busy. This is how she used to be when she was assigned here. It's like always like I had to make sure everything was done before lunch.
Okay, I'll bring Miss Anderson back for the rest of my cases.
No, you're
I'll bring
all
the
right.
joy and the sunshine.
No, it was much more pleasant having you there. Anyway, court does call the case of the people versus Franklin Melton. We're ready.
Lauren Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing with and on behalf of Melton. Mr. Melton should be appearing from the Forensic Center.
Is Mr. Melton available? I see them, but I don't see him.
Yes, patient is approaching right now. Oh, you'll have a seat right here.
Mr. Melton, could you state your name for the record, please?
Franklin Joseph Melton.
Thank you. Your Honor, is the court in receipt of the latest report from the Forensic Center?
Well, what would be the date on that latest report that you have?
February 8th.
February 12th?
I think that is correct, Your Honor.
All right. All I have for that date is the notification of hospital admission.
That should be most recent.
That's the most recent report. And that he continues to be in confidence, stand trial at this time.
Correct, Your Honor.
And now has been admitted for treatment at the Forensic Center.
That is correct, Your Honor. We have no further evidence or information to present to the court at this time.
Anything from the,
People don't need to, I'm not supposed to.
all right. So what I will do, since his admission there, I will set a review hearing on this matter. Set a competency review hearing. Can you give me an idea?
Like July 25th at 9 a.m.
Set it for July 25th, 2024, 9 a.m. If we get a report before then we'll move the date up.
Yes, Your Honor. All right, thank you.
Bond will continue. Thank you, Mr. Melton. Court calls the case, people versus Deontay Clifton. Bless you, whoever that was.
Edward Lucas on behalf of Deontay.
Your Honor, thank you for recalling this case. I did want to make the court aware that the defendant has made, based off of my tally, no less than 38 calls to the victim's number directly, 37 of which have been
from his PIN starting April 17th, all of which have been after he was arraigned, one of which was from another inmate's PIN, and that occurred on April 21st. I did stop checking last night at 8 p.m., so I'm not sure if there were additional calls made last night or this morning, but I would be requesting that his phone privileges be revoked. He did make he did make additional calls, not to the victim's direct number. I have not listened to those. And I also have not listened to all of the 37, but just knowing that he was calling the victim's number directly, I am concerned. I do want to put it on the record, I did ask the jail to block her number directly, so we did not be able to call her from somebody else's number, but I did not know if he was using someone else to patch her in or something like that.
I have not heard any of these jail calls. I do not know any information, or I don't know if the prosecutor knows as far as that phone number, if that is her number or if it's somebody else's phone number.
Or I
Not
think
knowing
they know that it's her number. The ones that went to
that's
her.
what I've been told is that's her number, but what the content of the phone call is, I don't know. So I understand that the court.
Content won't matter. Here's a no contact. So defendant's phone privileges are hereby ordered revoked
Your Honor, I did.
in their entirety.
For the record, I did request the phone calls to be released to Mr. Drukas last night, and I.
Court calls case People versus Taiwan Browning. He's back again.
And Matthew Mansour, Assistant Public Defender. I tried to reach out to Mr. Browning, couldn't get a hold of him all week, Your Honor.
It's also my understanding he failed to appear yesterday in front of Judge Conlon, Your Honor.
Okay, bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond will be set in the amount of $10,000 cash surety. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Jaquavius Carroll. Thank you. Yeah.
Apologies on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple. Please state your name for the record.
Jaquavius Carroll.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I know the court has been very patient with this matter.
That is my middle name.
I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Carroll's federal defense attorney yesterday, and his sentencing in the case in that matter is set for July 25th.
Oh.
I would ask for an.
I don't know that I've got that. Thank you. I know she's going to ask. That was a setup. Go ahead.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Your Honor, I'd ask for an adjournment as close
After
to that date as or after
You
that.
want it close or after? What are you looking to do?
Your Honor, I would ask for it after. My understanding, I'll let Ms. Hughes
I would
speak
love
on.
to see him in federal custody before I reduce this. That's what this is all about. That's why I've been saying I can't make this offer until he's in federal custody.
Got it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's July
25th.
to be a federal judge. I could paste this. Great. Yeah. August 1st, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court calls the case of the People versus Theophilus Smith.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant.
Theophilus Smith. Thank you.
Your Honor, in this matter, prior to my involvement in this case, there was a referral to the Forensic Center for Evaluation of Competency and Criminal Responsibility. Mr. Smith was interviewed and a report on his competency was submitted. I believe it was prior to my entry into the case, and he was found to be competent. We have not received a report on criminal responsibility, but that does not prevent us from moving forward since he's been found competent. So I think this case has been sitting for a long time and we need to set it for an exam.
You have all the discovery?
As far as I know, Your Honor, yes.
People would have their witnesses available. I guess Mr. Goldstein, 21st is what date that
Yes, Your Honor.
you'd have set preliminary examination in this matter in person, May 21st, 2024, 9 a.m. before me.
Your Honor, my client did want me to address the court on the issue of bond. However, I explained to him, we did address bond last time we were here and he denied it. I think now that we've set it for a preliminary examination, a better argument could be made after the court hears the testimony.
Correct.
So I'm gonna say, Judge, would you consider reducing the bond? Your response is gonna be
No.
okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. At this time, bond continued. Thank you. The cases of the people versus Dolores Strickland.
Your Honor, attorney of Mexico.
And Matthew Mansour, Assistant Public Defender with and on behalf of Ms. Strickland. Can you state your name for the record, please?
I'm going through an asthma attack, but yes, Doris Strickland.
All right, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're just going to request an adjournment, not because she's having an asthma attack, but because we are trying to get a mitigation letter written up, given to the prosecutor to hopefully get an offer for her cases.
All right. How long will it take to get the mitigation?
Your Honor, our staff is kind of short-staffed. If I could get the longest possible time, that would be appreciated, but
What are we on? Okay, gotcha. All right. Probable cause conference, given those circumstances, without objection, May 30th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you so much.
Bond will continue. Oh, I didn't recognize that was her.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Nicole James, on behalf of Ms. Brown.
Regina Brown.
Thank you. I have before me a plea form. Is that what we're doing?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. The plea form indicates that the defendant will be pleading guilty to the charge of false pretenses, 200 to 1,000 to 1 year offense. Upon a successful plea, count one would be dismissed. Also, the defendant has agreed to pay restitution in the amount of $1,205.11. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Has she signed an advisory?
I do not believe she did.
I think, well, let's grab you one there. The one on. Court calls case people versus Raman Slater.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Slater. State your name.
Slater. Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Mr. Slater wishes to set the case for a preliminary exam, Your Honor.
Discovery is complete.
Yes, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available to 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure.
Preliminary examination in person, May 7th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Freshour.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond continued. Thank you. Court calls the case, people versus Levi Johnson.
Your Honor, Joe Simon on behalf of Mr. Johnson. He should be appearing by Zoom. There he is. Oh, there he is. Mr. Johnson, will you state your name, please?
Yep, Levi Johnson.
Thank you. Okay, what are we doing on this?
Defense counsel and I have been in communication. We are going to try to schedule a phone call with a witness about restitution. So perhaps we could adjourn this a couple of weeks, please, Your Honor.
All right. Will 2 weeks work for you guys, or you need more time?
The 16th would work better for my schedule, Your Honor, please.
Like I cared, but I did ask.
I wasn't going to say until you asked.
May 16, 2024, 9 a.m. As your invite indicates, bond will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Court calls case people versus Frederick Baez.
Your Honor, Joe Simon on behalf of Mr. Baez. Go ahead and state your name, Fred.
Frederick Baez.
Thank you.
Similarly, in this case, Your Honor, we're asking for this actually is Ms. Willenbring's case, as I understand it, but she and I have begun our dialogue. We're asking to adjourn the PCC to that same date of 5 days.
Probable cause conference, May 16, 2024, 9 a.m. As your invite indicates, bond with its conditions will continue. Court calls case people versus Hoa In.
Your Honor, Joe Simon on behalf of Wah Win. Go ahead and state your name. Wah Win.
Hate it when we're reading each other's minds. That's scary. May 16, 2024, 9 a.m. Or as you're invited, case bond continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is that it for you?
Thank you, Your Honor. It is. Have a good afternoon.
Approach on a separate matter.
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Approach on a separate matter.
Thank you.
looked really good. Taste-wise, it is also very good.
থ্যাংক ইউ
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম এন্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি। আমি মৌসুমি।
মৌসুমি কি বানিয়েছেন?
এটা হচ্ছে চকো ক্যারামেল চিজকেক ব্লসম।
Looks beautiful. I think আজকের দেখা one of the best presentation.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
কি করেন আপনি?
আমার ছোটখাটো একটা বিজনেস আছে ফুড নিয়ে, পাশাপাশি আমি ট্রেনার হিসেবে রাজশাহী মহিলা টিটিসিতে আছি। আমি মাস্টার্স কমপ্লিট করেছি হোম ইকোনমিক্স থেকে, আর এছাড়াও আমি হোটেল ম্যানেজমেন্টে ডিপ্লোমা করেছি, আর এখন করছি হলো কুলিনারি আর্টসের উপরে ডিপ্লোমা। এছাড়াও আমি কিছু লেভেল কমপ্লিট করেছি যেটা কুকিং এবং বেকিংয়ের উপরে।
সো আপনি রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার?
জি।
সো রাজশাহী টিটিসি ট্রেনার হিসেবে ইউ হোল্ড আ ভেরি হাই পজিশন ইন দ্য সোসাইটি, রাইট? সো ওই পজিশন থেকে এসে এরকম একটা প্ল্যাটফর্মে দাঁড়িয়ে নিজের খানাকে প্রুভ করা, দ্যাট টেকস আ লট অফ গাটস। অল ইউর স্টুডেন্টস আর ওয়াচিং, যারা আপনাকে চিনে তারা দেখছে।
জি।
অ্যান্ড এটা তো অ্যাবাউট নাও তো 50-50, ইট ক্যান গো এনি ডিরেকশনে। ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন নিয়ে আমি বলেছি, ইট লুকড রিয়েলি গুড। টেস্ট ওয়াইজ ইট ইজ অলসো ভেরি গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
এভরি লেয়ার, ডিফারেন্ট এলিমেন্টস অফ ইট ভালো লেগেছে।
জি।
নিচের সসটা ভালো লেগেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমাদের যদি সিলেক্ট হয়ে যান তাহলে কিন্তু একটা লম্বা সময় থাকতে হবে, মানে এত কিছু বাদ দিয়ে ওইটুকু কি করা সম্ভব?
সম্ভব, কারণ আমার বাচ্চারা খুব করে চায়, এটা তো আমার ভালো লাগার একটা জায়গা যে আমিও চাচ্ছি এখানে যেতে। সঙ্গে আমার বাচ্চাদের খুব ইচ্ছা যে তার মাকে এই পজিশনে দেখা যাক, তো আমি হয়তোবা জবও ছেড়ে দিতে পারি এখানে যাওয়ার জন্য।
মৌসুমী, আমরা আপনাকে ওয়েটিং কার্ড দিব, ঠিক আছে?
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আসুন।
ইয়েস, পেয়ে গেছি আমার কাঙ্ক্ষিত কার্ডটি। যদি আমি অ্যাপিরনটি পেয়ে যাই, তো আমি যেখানে জব করি তাদেরকে আমি জানাবো আমি ছুটি চাই 2 মাসের জন্য। যদি তারা মানে রাজি হয় তাহলে ওকে, আর যদি না রাজি হয় তো আমার স্বপ্ন পূরণের জন্য আমি জবটা ছেড়ে দেব, তাও আমি যেতে চাই ঢাকা।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
আমার নাম তাসনিয়া আলী।
কি বানিয়েছো আজকে?
আমি বানিয়েছি বিফ লাজানিয়া।
কোথায় শিখলে বিফ লাজানিয়া বানানো?
এটাই ফার্স্টে ইউটিউব থেকে দেখেছিলাম এন্ড দেন কয়েকবার বাসায় নিজে ট্রাই করেছি 4-5 বারের মতো, যখন আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে রেসিপিটা পারফেক্ট করতে পেরেছি।
সো এটা পারফেক্ট আছে?
আই হোপ সো।
ইটালিয়ান আইটেমে কোন উপাদানটা ছাড়া কখনো ইটালিয়ান ডিশ হয় না?
টমেটো আর মজরেলা, ওদের প্রত্যেকটা আইটেমে কাইন্ড অফ এই দুইটা জিনিস কনসিস্টেন্ট থাকে।
অরিগানো অলসো।
অরিগানো অলসো, ইয়েস।
এখানে মজরেলা আসছে?
জি, হোমমেড মজরেলা, যেটা আমি নিজে বানিয়েছি।
হোমমেড?
জি।
I am very impressed যে you make your own mozzarella.
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর কি কি ইটালিয়ান ডিশ তুমি ভালো তৈরি করতে পারো?
স্প্যাগেটি উইথ মিটবলস, এটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্টলি বানাই। আর একটা হচ্ছে তিরামিসু।
বাংলা খাবার বানাতে পারো?
জি, পারি।
5 ফোড়নে যে ব্যবহার করা হয়, 5 ফোড়ন নাম শুনেছো?
জি।
5টা মশলার নাম বলো তো।
মেথি, মৌরি, কালিজিরা, জিরা, নর্মাল জিরা অ্যান্ড না সরি লাস্টটা মনে পড়তে
রাঁধুনি থাকে ওর মধ্যে।
ও হ্যাঁ, সর্ষে
রাঁধুনিও থাকে, রাঁধুনি থাকে। মনে করেন আপনি সেরা রাঁধুনি হয়ে গেলেন,
জি,
15 লক্ষ টাকাও পেলেন,
জি,
দেন করবেন কি?
আই থিঙ্ক কুলিনারি আর্টসে একটা ডিগ্রি পারসিউ করব ফার্স্ট অফ অল, অ্যান্ড বেকিংয়ে আমার আরও বেশি অনেক কিছু, যে অনেক টাইপের আইটেমস আছে, সো ওগুলো আমি আমার প্রফেশনালি শেখার ইচ্ছা আছে, তো আমি মোস্ট প্রবাবলি স্কিল বিল্ডিংয়ে ইনভেস্ট করব সবার ফার্স্ট।
So for now, we'll give you a waiting card. ঠিক আছে?
Mình đã tô xong bức tranh về chú mèo nha. Các bạn hãy quan sát lại bức tranh mình đã hoàn thiện này. Để theo dõi các video tiếp theo, các bạn nhớ bấm like cho mình nhé. Xin chào các bạn. Hello, xin chào các bạn đến với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Hôm nay chúng mình cùng nhau tô màu bức tranh về một chú gà mái này, một chú gà mái hoa mơ này. Chúng mình cùng tô màu nha. Một chú gà mái với cái bộ chân rất là sần sù, như kiểu chú ấy là một chú gà mái rất già rồi ấy. Nên mình sẽ tô cái màu của nó là màu đỏ nhá. Đây này, đây là cái màu đỏ này. Mình sẽ tô cái phần màu trên đỉnh đầu trước nha. Mình đang tô cái phần màu của chú gà. Mình đã tô xong cái phần màu với cái màu đỏ này rồi nhá. Giờ mình sẽ tô sang phần mỏ này. Để cái màu nâu. Đây là cái màu nâu này. Mình sẽ dùng cái chì ngòi nhỏ này. Một cái mỏ rất là sắc nhọn.
আছি বগুড়ায়, আর বগুড়ার সব সেরা রাঁধুনিরা তাদের হাতের খাবার নিয়ে চলে এসেছেন। কেমন করছেন তারা, চলুন দেখা যাক। দর্শক, অসংখ্য প্রতিযোগীর মধ্য থেকে প্রাথমিকভাবে বাছাইকৃত প্রতিযোগীরা আজ হাজির হয়েছে বগুড়াতে। প্রত্যেকের স্বপ্ন একটাই, হতে চায় সেরা রাঁধুনি, এবং একটু পরেই তারা মুখোমুখি হবে বিচারকদের। তারা কি ভাবছেন, মনের মধ্যে কিরকম দুশ্চিন্তা হচ্ছে, কে কি রেসিপি নিয়ে এসেছেন এবং তাদের জন্য কতটা সহজ হবে ঢাকায় যাওয়ার টিকিট পাওয়া, কথা বলবো প্রতিযোগীদের সাথে। দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি ভালো আছেন?
আপনার রেসিপি কি?
আমার রেসিপিটা হচ্ছে ক্যারামেল অরেঞ্জ ইয়োগার্ট।
ওকে, এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্টস কি?
এটার মূল ইনগ্রেডিয়েন্ট হচ্ছে দই, বগুড়ার বিখ্যাত দই। আমি সেটা দিয়ে ফিউশন করা ট্রাই করেছি।
আপনি এর আগেও অংশ নিয়েছিলেন সম্ভবত 1427 এবং গ্র্যান্ড অডিশন থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, রাইট?
রাইট।
এবারের রেসিপি কি?
এবারের রেসিপি হচ্ছে আমার চকলেট মোকা স্ট্রবেরি চিজ কেক। অল আর মাই সিক্রেট রেসিপি, সো আই এম ভেরি এক্সাইটেড।
কুমু, কেমন আছেন?
ভালো আছি, আপনি কেমন আছেন?
খুব ভালো। এর আগে 1427 লাকি 7 থেকে বাদ পড়েছিলেন, এবার কি মনে হচ্ছে?
প্রথমবারের যে অভিজ্ঞতা, বর্তমানে আমি তারপর আরো 2 বছর সময় নিয়েছি, শিখেছি, তো নিজেকে এবারে তৈরি করে এনেছি। ইনশাল্লাহ ভালো কিছু একটা হবে।
আপনার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য কি?
আমার রেসিপির মূল বৈশিষ্ট্য হচ্ছে গ্রাম্য নিয়ে এসেছি, মানে আমার গ্রামের যে জিনিসপত্র সে প্রেজেন্ট করবো।
একসঙ্গে কতজনের রান্না করতে পারবেন?
আমি যদি বলি, এখন আমাদের বাসায় যত গেস্ট আসে আপ টু 20।
একটু কি ভয় লাগছে?
হ্যাঁ, একটু ভয় কাজ করছে, কারণ ফার্স্ট টাইম কোনো রিয়েলিটি শোতে আসছি।
তারপর আপনার জন্য শুভকামনা রইল।
সো মাচ।
দর্শক, ভয় তো লাগবেই, এবং এই ভয়কে জয় করাই হচ্ছে যে কোনো প্রতিযোগীর কাজ। সেরা রাঁধুনি কিন্তু একটা লম্বা প্রতিযোগিতা, এবং এই রেসে টিকে থাকার জন্য আপনাকে অবশ্যই অন্যদের চাইতে বেটার রেসিপি দিতে হবে, এবং সেই রেসিপির মধ্য দিয়ে কিন্তু যারা আমাদের বিচারক রয়েছেন তাদের মন জয় করতে হবে। সো দেখা যাক কি হয়, আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আমাদের মাঝে বিচারকেরা চলে এসেছেন। একটু পরেই শুরু হবে ফুড টেস্টিং এবং সেই সাথে জাজমেন্ট। আমি এবার কথা বলবো আমাদের বিচারকদের সাথে, দেখি তারা কি ভাবছেন। ওয়েলকাম টু বগুড়া অডিশন। কি খবর?
ভালো, তুমি কেমন আছো?
আমি খুব ভালো আছি, এবং আমি ভুল না করলে এবার দিয়ে বোধহয় 5ম বারের মতো আপনি আসলে বিচারকের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন। বগুড়ার প্রতিযোগী, সর্বোপরি এবারের প্রতিযোগীদের নিয়ে আপনার কি বলার আছে?
প্রত্যাশা তো অনেক বেশি, কারণ বগুড়া সবসময় সব সিজনেই অনেক ভালো ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা পেয়ে থাকি সেরা রাঁধুনিতে। তো এবারেও আমি আশা করছি যে অ্যাটলিস্ট টপ 5 পর্যন্ত যেন যেতে পারে, এরকম পার্টিসিপেন্টস আমরা এখান থেকে নিয়ে যেতে পারি, এটাই আমাদের প্রত্যাশা।
শেফ নাইম আশরাফ দ্বিতীয়বারের মতো সেরা রাঁধুনির অডিশনের দায়িত্ব পালন করছেন বিচারকের। কেমন লাগছে বা কি মনে করছেন এবারের এই আয়োজন নিয়ে?
সেরা রাঁধুনি গত সিজনে আমরা রংপুর দিয়ে শুরু করেছিলাম, সো এবার বগুড়াতে নতুন পার্টিসিপেন্টসদের খাওয়া ট্রাই করার জন্য ভেরি এক্সাইটেড। রেসিপি সিলেকশনে আমি সবগুলো রেসিপি দেখেছি, সিলেক্ট করেছি, সো ওগুলো খাওয়ার জন্য এবার এখানে আশা করি অনেক ভালো পার্টিসিপেন্টস বগুড়া থেকে পাবো।
অনেক অনেক ভালোবাসা। আমার মনে হয় আমি আর সময় নষ্ট না করি, আপনার ভেতরে চলে যান।
তোমাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। দর্শক, আমাদের প্রধান 2 বিচারককে তো পেয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু বগুড়াতে রয়েছেন আমাদের আরও একজন অতিথি বিচারক। তিনি ঠিক কোথায় আমি এখনো জানি না, তাকে খুঁজে পাচ্ছি না। তিনি এলেই কিন্তু শুরু হয়ে যাবে আমাদের মূল অডিশন রাউন্ড।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
Hello, xin chào các bạn đến với kênh YouTube của mình nha. Hôm nay chúng mình sẽ cùng nhau tô màu bức tranh Một bông hoa mặt trời. Chúng mình cùng tô màu nha. Một bông hoa mặt trời. Mình sẽ tô phần đôi môi nha, với cái màu đỏ nè. Đây là đôi môi nha. Với đôi môi là cái màu đỏ. Mình đã tô xong nha. Cái màu hồng. Cái màu hồng phấn mình sẽ tô hai bên má nha. Hai bên má bằng cái màu hồng phấn này. Mình đã tô xong một bên rồi này.
আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, দিস ইজ প্লাস্টিক, রাইট?
ওকে ওকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না। আর মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
জি।
হ্যালো শেফ, হ্যালো ম্যাম, হ্যালো ম্যাম।
হ্যালো।
এটা হলো আমি করেছি কোয়েল বেগুনের কালাই টাক। আমার আঞ্চলিকতাকেই আমি ফিউশন হিসেবে এখানে তুলে ধরেছি। আর পাশে ডেজার্ট হিসেবে রেখেছি জাম্বুরা খোসার মালাই চাপিটা।
ইন্টারেস্টিং। এটা প্লেট করা কোথা থেকে শিখলেন?
আমি কমপ্লিট করার পরে যখন ঢাকাতে চাকরি প্রিপারেশনের জন্য যাই, তখন ওখান থেকে 3 মাসের একটা কোর্স করেছিলাম। ওখানে আপনার ডেকোরেশন, প্লেটিং অনেক কিছু শিখাইছিল। ছোটোখাটো কিছু ওখান থেকেই শেখা হয়েছে। আর ইউটিউব, সুপার শেফ, মাস্টার শেফ, কানাডিয়ান, অস্ট্রেলিয়ান এইসব দেখেই শিখেছি। আর আপনার ফুড নিয়ে এক্সপেরিমেন্ট করতে ভালোবাসি। খাদ্যের অবশিষ্ট অংশ ফেলে দিয়ে আমরা অনেক সময় নষ্ট করি, যাতে ওইগুলো আমরা ফুড হিসেবে আবার প্লেটিং করতে পারি, সেই হিসাবে এটা আমার করা। জাম্বুরার
সেরা রাঁধুনিতে কি ফার্স্ট টাইম?
না, এবার দিয়ে আমার সেকেন্ড টাইম।
আচ্ছা।
এর আগের বার আমি এসেছিলাম আপনার ওই টিভি ছিল।
আপনি কিচেনে কাজ করেন না কেন? হোটেল বা রেস্টুরেন্টে কাজ করেন না?
আমি আপনার 17-18 মাস মতন কাজ করেছিলাম আপনার রূপপুর পারমাণবিকের পাশে, মানে অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট হিসেবে ঢুকেছিলাম। পরে শেফ চলে যাওয়ার কারণে পুরো আমি হ্যান্ডেল করতাম ওইটা।
কিচেন লাইনে কাজ করতে চান?
অফকোর্স, এই জন্যই এখন এর পিছনেই ছুটছে।
আপনার আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুড আইডিয়াস অনেক ভালো, ফুডের টেস্ট অনেক ভালো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আপনার খুব ভালো চেষ্টা ছিল, আর আমরা নতুন রেসিপি দেখলাম।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
তো আমার মনে হলো আপনাকে আমরা একটা ওয়েটিং কার্ড দেই। আপনার যদি লাক ভালো থাকে আমাদের সাথে নেক্সট অডিশন রাউন্ডে আপনি যেতে পারবেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমার মাঝে আমি সেরা রাঁধুনি।
আমি নিয়ে এসেছি প্লেন রাইস, সরষে ইলিশ, আর হচ্ছে একটা ডাউল রান্না, বাড়িতে নর্মালি যেটা রান্না হয় আর কি, আর হচ্ছে 3 পদের ভর্তা।
এতটুকু তো এনাফ না সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার জন্য।
কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
এটা স্যার ফ্রাইড চিকেন আর ফ্রাইড রাইস।
বাসায় রান্না করেন?
জি জি।
কি ধরনের রান্না?
নর্মাল রান্নাগুলো আম্মু করে, আর একটু মানে অন্যরকম রান্নাগুলো আমি করেছি।
আম্মু তো সেরা রাজনীতি গিয়ে রান্না করে দিয়ে আসে।
না না, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারি, নর্মাল রান্নাও পারবো।
একটু স্কিলটা বাড়াতে হবে। হ্যাঁ,
আমি নিয়ে আসছি অ্যারাবিয়ান চিকেন খাফসা।
এখানে স্টার অনিস ব্যবহার করেছো? স্টার অনিস অনেক বেশি স্ট্রং ফ্লেভার আসে।
খাপসা নিয়ে এসেছি, এটা খাপসা হয়নি,
আবার আসবে।
চিকেন ললিপপ, সাথে একটু সুইটের জন্য চকলেট কেক নিয়ে এসেছি।
ললিপপের সাথে রাইস যায় না।
চিকেন ললিপপ ইজ আ স্টার্টার।
এই জিনিসগুলো অবশ্যই মাথায় রাখতে হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
শামিন, কি বানিয়েছেন আজকে?
আমি এটা কাঁচা পেঁপের লাড্ডু বানিয়েছি।
শামিন, এটা আপনার নিজের রেসিপি? ইটস রিয়েলি গুড। আমি খাওয়া স্টপ করতে পারছি না। আপনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন কি বানাতে পারেন?
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল কুইজিন আমি পারি না।
আমার মনে হয় আপনি একটু সময় নেন, ভালো করে শিখেন।
জি
ফারজান আক্তার মিম,
জি।
কি বানিয়েছো?
পায়েস।
এত বড় প্লেটে কেন?
আসলে ডেকোরেশনের জন্য একটু বড়ই নিয়েছিলাম।
ডেকোরেশনের জন্য তো ভালো লাগছে না।
পায়েস সাধারণত এভাবে সার্ভ হয় না।
আপনার নাম বলবেন আর কি রেসিপি বানিয়েছেন সেটা?
আমার নাম মোহাম্মদ শাফিউল আলম, ডিশের নাম লিয়ার হ্যাভেন টিট।
এটা হ্যাভেন কোন দিক থেকে হলো?
এটা স্মুথি ভাব আসে, এই জন্য
একটা বাইট দিলাম আর একদম উড়ে হ্যাভেন। আমি খেয়ে যেটা দেখলাম, কেকটা খুবই ড্রাই। সরি টু সে, আমি যেতে পারি নাই হ্যাভেন।
অডিশন রাউন্ডে বিচারকদের কাছে প্রতিযোগীদের রেসিপির পাশাপাশি ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশন, কুকিং স্কিল, নলেজ সেলফ কনফিডেন্স সহ বিভিন্ন বিষয়ে পরীক্ষার সম্মুখীন হতে হয়। সেই পরীক্ষায় অনেকেই বিচারকদের প্রত্যাশা পূরণ করতে পারেননি, তাই সেরা রাঁধুনি হওয়ার স্বপ্ন তাদের এখানেই থেমে যায়।
অয়েল ফ্রি আলু পনির, এটা
পনিরটা কিভাবে বানিয়েছে?
পনিরটা এটা কেনা পনির।
তাহলে তো আলুও বাজার থেকে কেনা, তাহলে আপনার কি?
আমার রান্না রেসিপি আমার।
আমার নাম নাসরিন আক্তার মিম। আমি আজকে করেছি ভ্যানিলা কেক, সাথে আমি করেছি হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকের সাথে হাঁসের মাংস।
কেকটা এখানে কেন, মানে টাব থেকে edible?
নো,
So এটা edible না? And then why did you put
এটাও এডিবল না, এটা হচ্ছে
plastic on top?
প্রপার। হ্যাঁ,
মানে এটা আপনি কেকের উপর দিতে পারেন না, this is plastic, right?
ওকে ওকে।
Thank you.
Mình sẽ tô đến cái phần quyển sổ là quyển sổ bệnh án ấy, mình sẽ tô đến cái màu xanh này. Đem đê xuống cho nó giọt vào mồm ấy thôi. Đê. Cho tầm 3 giọt nhé. Hả?